Undersecretary Castillo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Magandang hapon sa lahat. I am not an alumna of UP, but I always enjoy coming over. And I guess this time not leisurely, because I am to give a reaction to three very highly esteemed experts in poverty. I guess the three presentations given by my elders in the sector actually reminds us all of what is poverty, who are the poor, what do they need, and what they recommend for us to do. All in all, in the 3 years that I've been in the National Anti-Poverty Commission, and perhaps my 1 decade in government, we've been looking for answers to all of these questions. We have not stopped searching for the answers. But I assure you that the National Anti-Poverty Commission and the government at large have searched for solutions and are trying to do its best to operationalize some of the solutions that are doable. So underscoring the word doability is very important. Now, the National Anti-Poverty Commission have looked at all these causes and all the intricacies of the word poverty. And in fact, we are not far from actually knowing what are the features of being poor. In fact, the National Anti-Poverty Commission in its house have 14 sectors with who engage us, no? Or who engage government. And these 14 sectors are supposedly the representatives of this group of people that can assert that they're suffering the brunt of poverty in this country. And these include, of course, the farmers, the fisher folk, the urban poor, the workers in the informal sectors, the most vulnerable and disadvantaged sectors of society that, of course, includes the women, children, elderly, etc. So we have 14, all of them, engaging directly government in all our processes. For the 9 years that NAPSI has stood as a coordinating and oversight body, specifically to help government put its act together and ensure the participation of the basic sectors, we have tried our best to really come up together with the different government agencies in its umbrella, and the president, of course, being our chair, and the vice president as the alternate chair, have defined a lot of programs. But first of all, I'd like to emphasize that based on even the presentations earlier, we have to affirm, and I agree, that poverty is multidimensional. Multidimensional because it's not only talking about money in a person's pocket or the income that one derives from its services and the goods. It is also talking about non-income dimensions or indicators like health, education, housing, peace and order, which were already listed earlier. It is multi-level. Multi-level because it doesn't only involve national government or Malacanang, the cabinet, or all of the departments in government that are lodged in the national leadership. We are also talking of sub-regional or regional and sub-regional level considerations. And we want to give emphasis to the multi-level feature of poverty because poverty is actually at the ground level where the poor are and where we will find in real sense what true poverty is all about. And in government structures, the local level are actually the operational sphere of our local government units. And therefore, if you look at the whole stream of people involved in poverty reduction, then you have to go through several spheres of operations: national, regional, and local. And as far as Dr. Favelia's report stated, globalization also matters in this whole discussion. And therefore, it goes beyond our national borders, it goes beyond our waters and air. Now, it is also multi-sectoral, because we know that poverty has no single face. The face of poverty is not only the farmer's face, it's not only the women's face. It is multi-sectoral, and therefore, because of its multi-sectoral character, then it requires different interventions, because there are certain unique features of poverty that you see in each and every sector in the country. Now, I am given another 2 minutes, and I am so sorry I cannot really capture all of what I want to say. But let me tell you that government is not stopping. NAPSI is not stopping. We know there is a problem. There is indeed a problem. I won't close my eyes to that. That's why if there's no problem, NAPSI won't be there anyway. and I guess NAPSI, in the 9 years that it has been in its institutional frame today, has actually did some approaches which we capsulize in what we call FACE, F-A-C-E, focus. We've been hearing suggestion. Why don't you focus? Focus on the problem and focus on the solution. And that is one of the things that we're doing. We're trying to focus, and one very clear intervention that we're doing here is that we are trying our best to really come up with tools and mechanisms so that we will know where the poor are. That's why when I was introduced being one of the advocates of the community-based monitoring system, that's okay. But that's one only of what I'm doing. We want to really get a very good targeting mechanism on the ground, because unless we know where the poor are, then we are actually wasting some of the resources that we have pulled together, our government has pulled together to be able to ensure that the poor becomes or graduate from poverty. Now, accelerated. You've heard a lot about, in the past administrations up to this time, we have crafted so many programs. And I guess the President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, has, since 2001, have already crafted its program for anti-poverty, which actually was dubbed Kalahi. This time, when we are more than 2 years away from 2010, our code name is actually starting to become acceleration. All of our programs are now being accelerated, and that is why we have the Accelerated Hunger Mitigation Program as one of our banner program. And I'm just so, I would have wished to show it on the screen, but I didn't have time to go to the computer. The Hunger Mitigation Program is actually a response of government. This is a package of interventions being now coordinated and overseen by the National Nutrition, NNC, the National Nutrition Council, together with the National Anti-Poverty Commission, which hopes to be able to address hunger and poverty in very specific areas in government, in the country. Specifically, we have subdivided the whole country into at least 3 priority areas, the first of which is a priority of 10 provinces, which, based on the 2003 FICE, have shown that there are the 10 provinces in the country with the lowest subsistence level, or subsistence incidence, meaning these are the food poorest provinces in the country. So we have a first priority, a second priority provinces, which is about 20, and another 24. And all of these based on our vice and hunger or FEEP beams have been defined to be highly vulnerable for hunger and poverty. Now, we are accelerating a set of programs which I cannot enumerate because I don't have that time. At any rate, I will be very happy to give you the rest of the presentations, and I can give it to UP. But I assure you that just like in basketball, we're in the last 2 minutes. And therefore, we have to accelerate, but that is not to say that we want to lose the game. We want to win it, and to win it, we need to converge. Government alone, convergence is another approach. To win the game or to win the battle or war against poverty, we need to converge. We need to be synchronized. We need to harmonize all our efforts. Government alone cannot do it. National government alone cannot do it. In a decentralized governance structure, the local government units all over the country are critical partners here. Now, these are all governments, but where are you in this whole discussion? Students, faculties, academics are very important because you are carriers of good news and bad news. And I hope that as carriers of good news and, well, statistics and analysis, you can help government also share to all our academic populace that government alone cannot do it. You need to do something about this from your end. What I've always been saying is, each of us has a role to play. We cannot just stay looking at statistics, looking at analysis. Let's develop solutions, not only in the school, but in our own backyard, in our own household, because you have to create the cooperation and unity of thought. You need to appreciate that government alone cannot do it, and we cannot just address all of our problems in this whole country without all hands on deck. Let's win the game, and hopefully you can be with us to win our game within the next 2 or 3 years up to 2010 for our national targets, and maybe 2015 for our Millennium Development Goals, which is also one of our primary commitment to the United Nations. Thank you very much.